Fit and Fire podcast. We wanted to come to you today with a pregame and a special seventh inning stretch segment during the Yankees hosting the Angels, but it's been rained out. So we have a
Yes, it's.
doubleheader slated for tomorrow now.
I'm actually not too far, maybe like 30 miles away, and I'm under an umbrella right now. And if I wasn't, I'd be soaking wet. So I get it. It makes
There we go.
sense.
He's our
It's been
infield
go. It's
correspondent.
yeah, I'm out here. I'm out here in the trenches. It's been raining all day. I get
It
it.
looks nice for the Bronx, Ben. Where do you
Well,
find that nice little brick wall
this is new.
backyard?
This is New Jersey, but it's
Ah, New
close
Jersey.
enough, close enough.
Yeah.
But I was counting
So
on this game, man. I was counting on it. It was, like I always say, like this. I find a Yankee game to be extremely meditative. There's a level of relaxation that you can get to while like sit down and watch a game
oh yeah.
that it's very hard to find. It's very hard to find in somewhere else. I mean, you can relax in other ways. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the
Well,
same.
this is part of
It's a different
nostalgia. I
kind of
mean, Yankees
relaxation.
fans get, more than most because we get pretty much November, December, and then January, then February they start pitchers and catchers, March spring training, and we usually play through October. So it's really a 9 month a year thing for our whole life that there's Yankee news.
Yeah,
So it does
I could
feel weird when
directly,
it's not there.
I could directly, excuse me, I could directly correlate times where I'm like more stressed out with the off season than, and or if there's a downturn in the team in like general, if that's going on, then that might have an effect.
Yeah,
It's actually, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that this happens to, but the amount, maybe it's a little too much, that the effects that the wins or losses on a daily basis can have on just like my mood, whether it just swings left or right, is
yeah.
is more substantial than it probably should be. Maybe I should get that in check.
No, I think you see, like people look down on New York fans not as much as they look down on Philadelphia fans, and I believe there's a reason because we're both
Yeah.
passionate. We both know our things. Philadelphia obviously has all the negative things that people see, but I think that people like we're passionate. It's part of our life.
Oh,
I don't think it should change.
In Philadelphia, I've been in a bar and an Eagles game or a Phillies game and is on, and if they win, everyone stays and everyone's in a good mood and it's great. If
Yeah,
they lose, the bar clears out. Everyone goes home and everyone's like
yeah,
just in a bad mood.
yeah, yeah. You know, it's it's definitely it's funny you say that. Back during the recession in 2008. I had so much real estate when I was 25, 26 years old when everything was falling apart. And I was so down on myself for not seeing, what people had said. And I remember making a comment to my friend like, I don't even watch the Yankees. I feel like I don't deserve it. And he gave me the speech similar to you. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah,
this is the only thing that we have, no matter what. Like,
yeah.
you always deserve it. No
They're
matter,
not
and
gonna
it
break
should
up
be
with
your
you.
like what you just said. But I was like the opposite. Like looking at it because it feels good. Like I don't deserve a reward.
Ooh, it's coming
And he
down,
said,
boy.
no, I should definitely use that as the thing to pull me out of that funk.
It's like a secret. It's like a Xanax. You can
Yeah.
definitely they may have the same effect if you want to
Hmm.
kind of think about it like that. Maybe one makes you fall asleep kind of and pass out a little too much, but actually the other one can too. My dad passes out pretty much during every single Yankee game, and then he wakes back
Yeah,
up.
my dad. It's funny. My dad and I were just talking about this because of the rule change. Talk about intentionally walking people brought up upon by judge. He was talking about how whatever baseball changes a rule, it's something that they talk about for years and complain about for years, and then it takes 3 or 4 years to finally get it changed. And I said, oh yeah, like how they extra innings, they put the runner on second now. They have the timer for the pitchers, and he said Yeah, you know, I don't fall asleep for games anymore because they're 2 hours and 20 minutes instead of 3 hours.
Yeah,
And
that's
extra inning games
that does
usually go
make a
10 or
difference.
11. That's it. You don't see 17 inning games anymore.
Maybe
I
I
don't
wonder
know
if
how. I mean, I saw the other night the Yankees with the runners getting put on second.
I
I
wonder if
mean,
they did. I wonder if they did that because they're like the
it's
majority
complete. It's
of
completely
people that
because they
watch
were
Yankee
losing
game or
fan
watch.
interest.
What I was gonna say. It's like maybe the fan base is getting older and they can't pay attention for as long periods of time,
Hmm.
or maybe just in general, all people don't have the attention span that we once did. You know?
Well, it's like people for some odd reason they started. They've always said it about soccer, right? Like it's 1-0, 0-0, 1-1. It's too like slow of a game for them. Not enough scoring, and they say well, baseball is just slow in general. And
Yeah.
even if there is a lot of scoring, um, unless it's like a slugfest, but most
Well,
of
I
the
mean,
time it's too slow of a
so I
game.
just want to correct you on that. The only place that says that about
Oh, right,
soccer is
America.
America. It's America. All
Yes,
right.
and America's also the only place that we play baseball. Ironically, like other
Well, yeah,
countries
yeah,
don't
pretty
play, like
much. Well,
Japan, America,
Japan. Actually,
and
there's a
then
lot
of
of
course
places
South
that play
America. But
baseball. Now that I think about it, I mean, if you think of it, they play everywhere.
well, I mean professionally, like South American. I mean they play. It's like just like the rest of the world plays soccer. They play like
Yeah,
either baseball or soccer. But soccer, obviously, you don't need much. You just need a bit old beat up ball. Baseball, you
yeah.
can
Listen,
play with a
can
stick
you
and a rock.
hear the rain over here?
What's that?
Can you hear the rain over here?
I don't hear it now. I
Oh
see
wow.
it. It looks like it's coming down.
It's. I feel like I'm going to turn into a news weather reporter in about a moment because I feel like it's like a hurricane. I think I might have to retreat inside in a moment. All kidding aside, just I'll
Oh
let you
my.
know.
Yeah. Well. So what? So what do you think about the Yankees leadoff spot? Do you like the idea, like we talked about having Volpe, since you don't want to move him, and give him more responsibility since he started hitting again, moving him to ninth and putting Jazz Chisholm first, where he was a leadoff hitter his whole career, except for like the last 5 games. So you put him where he's used to, and then you kind of give Volpe even less pressure. So they're back to
I
back. Do you
think,
like that?
well, I think right now we got a nice opportunity since we got a doubleheader coming to maybe try it both ways. You know, try give them each a chance in the one spot, and by the end of the day, maybe we'll have our answer.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think you'll see Volpe in the one spot just because of what you mentioned yesterday. They generally, when a guy is slumping, which he had been at leadoff for 6 weeks, they're not gonna. And then they moved him down to 7 or whatever. They're not gonna usually move you up right when you start hitting. They usually give you,
Yeah,
if anything, less responsibility. But
yeah. Not
um,
to change the subject, but before I forget, you know what I was thinking earlier? I was thinking about when the players get a game postponed, what do you think they do? Like, what do you think they go and take batting practice? Do you think they have like a routine, or do you think they're like
I think it's
do you,
definitely
wait,
depending on
or
the
do you think they're
manager.
like or do you think they're like anyone else who's like at work that gets like a bonus day off and they just want to get out of the stadium and go home and just relax?
I think that they definitely today because especially I think it depends on what the circumstances are. When you have a double header tomorrow, I bet you Boone was like, "Everybody go home. Do not go out tonight. You guys have to play, 5 to 6 hours of baseball tomorrow."
Yeah.
And they have two. I think they play have like a 1 o'clock and a 7 o'clock game.
I wonder how that transpires. Like, do they have a team meeting and then like they talk about it? Does Boone make the decision and then tell the team? Is the captain involved? Is Judge involved in the conversation? Is that like It would be interesting to get a little insiders knowledge about like what goes into decision making when it comes to when they have time off, when they don't, when it's a day
Well,
where they have to themselves. Like,
I can tell
I
you
don't know
one
how
thing
many
that I bet
I don't know
you.
how many days during the year that the season's on that they actually have 3 days completely to themselves.
Yeah, not. I mean,
That's
I
why they
think
get
that
paid the big
anytime
bucks.
they're off, baseball is not a sport where they practice. They take BP. That's why they get to the
Yeah,
stadium 3 hours
BP
early.
throwing sessions.
Yeah, but I've been to a game. I bet you, like, I can't answer not the question you asked, but a similar one that most people don't know. I've been to a Phillies game, and they played the Yankees actually about 10 years ago, and it was a Saturday. It was supposed to be a 1 o'clock game. It was pouring down rain, and they postponed it for 4 o'clock because they looked at the weather and it looked
Yeah,
like the rain was going to clear out by 3, and they figure they'll get the field ready for an hour and they'll play. And the two starting pitchers changed because it started to pour about 10 minutes before the first pitch.
will the starting
And
pitchers change for tomorrow? Just given the fact that it's been postponed, or will the pitcher that was
no,
supposed to pitch
because
tonight
they
pitch game one?
definitely didn't start today. It was raining all
Restart.
day, so
Yeah. Oh yeah, they
um,
didn't even warm up. You mean?
right. But I wasn't aware, like when they throw a bullpen set, like when they do the official warm up to start a 100 pitch game, that they throw like 50 pitches, and that is enough. That it's like when you work out, it's like, hey, you
Yeah,
just did arms, you can't do arms tomorrow.
makes sense.
If you're warmed up to throw another 100 pitches, at full force, but if you don't, you got to sit a day. And I thought that was amazing. I'm like, damn, I can't believe that warming up takes that much out of you
I
because
know
they're
that's
so
crazy.
strict with these pitch counts. I'm like, damn, like what do they do? Count the warm up pitches too?
Well, if they
And they're like,
cut,
it's more just muscle fatigue. Your arm
it might
hurts.
play into it.
They say they throw it like 70% when they warm up. So if the guy's
Yeah,
throwing like 100, he'll be throwing 70 to 80, just and working on his command just to get his muscles loose. But after 50 pitches, and they do different scenarios, you know,
yeah,
like
yeah. Of course.
full count, right-handed batter, and they work on each pitch.
Yeah.
So warm-up session's pretty intense. But
Well, I mean, unfortunately, tonight we're gonna have to sit this one out. I mean, there is a day off, and we'll take it in stride. And then tomorrow the games are gonna be at what time's the first game?
let's see. Let me check that right now. I'm gonna look on MLB's app. Give me a second here. Um, I looked and it looked like tomorrow um, they did move because it's a doubleheader. They're going to start Luis Seal, but in the
Okay.
first game, but they're going to start Will Warren, the long reliever they got at the trade deadline. They're going to start him in game 2, so that means they get to basically push everybody back and give all their starters one more day of rest, which is
Yeah,
probably good.
I had a feeling that it was gonna come into play. I just didn't know how. That's a great.
And you know what?
That's good
Heel
news.
had 6 days off, so now he has 7. There's always that funny fine line in baseball where, like it's good to get an extra day, 2 extra days, okay, but 3 extra days, now it's no good. Now it's too much rest.
Yeah, I
But
think so.
Heel, it's probably good for him because he's young, and the only time he's even, fallen when he got off that Cy Young pace, it was when he started to, hit that halfway point.
Yeah.
So he'll be pitching, and then Will Warren there. And then what's interesting? Let me see. I wonder who the Angels. Let's see who their game 2 pitcher is. Uh, Carson Fulmer. It looks actually like that. Yeah, Carson Fulmer and Davis Daniel. I can't say I know anything about Carson Fulmer. I don't know if I've even heard of him. Um, Davis Daniel's going
The
to pitch the
skies are
first game.
talking over here. The skies are talking.
Yeah.
Somebody's angry up there.
So
But
yeah,
on that note, I am going. Let me retreat inside because while you're very comfortable in the studio, I am
all right, man.
sitting in the pouring rain, and it's actually it's very soothing and relaxing, but it's starting to get a little intense. So let's call it, and we'll get back into it.
All right, sounds good. I'll send you
All
that
right,
video I posted on Judge about the whole issue with them walking him in the New York
send it
Post
over.
article, so you can see it
All
as
right,
the
yeah, send
intro
it.
too for the channel that we'll work on for future videos.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, man. Take it
All
easy.
right, take it easy.
Take it easy.